Hey guys, what's up? It's time for a new process video, and this time I didn't have anything in mind, didn't have any ideas, so I just sketched freely on my iPad and came up with this wolf head that I kind of liked. And then I added a ramen bowl, so one thing led to the other, and I came up with this idea of drawing a poster for a ramen shop. And mix it with, mix the illustration with some typography and design elements from Japan, inspired by Japan anyway, So yeah, at this point I kind of liked the sketch and felt like it's good enough to move it into Photoshop and start the coloring process. Well, you can see I added some, Japanese typography to it. I added some, like the sunlight, the sunbeams in the background is kind of inspired by Japanese designs, and it really made the whole thing kind of pops out. I really like the symmetry and the way it kind of supports the main element, which is the wolf. I actually really like mixing Japanese influences into my illustration work, and I do it very often, to be honest. And I think it all began when I was a teenager and I discovered Dragon Ball Z for the first time. And it was so different from anything I knew back then. I was mostly familiar with cartoons from Europe and America, and it just felt so different. And the characters, the plot, even the music, of course the illustration style as well, everything was super special and different, and I fell in love with it, and it totally opened up this whole new world of Japanese manga and anime that I later on discovered. So really, yeah, lots of different mangas and animes. And eventually, when I was like 20 something years old and I realized I still really like all this manga stuff, it led me to this idea of studying graphic design, which is sort of close to studying illustration. I didn't think I'll end up as an illustrator, so back then I was aiming for graphic design. But yeah, later on, in the academy, I actually discovered lots of art books. So things like amazing woodblock prints from 400 years ago from Japan. Yeah, I discovered lots of these prints in the library, in the academy, and it was such an amazing thing that I wasn't really aware of before that. So I guess mixing all these woodblock prints, I discovered in the academy with my love to manga and anime from my teenage years, kind of made a huge impact on how I draw, and what I draw and how I draw. And this really affects my illustration style, if I think about it nowadays. So my illustration style is obviously something that is still developing, and it's obviously a mix of a lot of other things, and not only Japanese art and design, but it has a huge impact on how I even started thinking about illustration and being a creative person. So anyway, yeah, okay. I'm gonna leave you with the rest of the process video, and I'm gonna talk to you soon. Enjoy! Okay, so this is the final illustration. If you have any questions about my process or anything else you want to ask, leave a comment below and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you on the next video. Bye!